massive number of people have been upgrading. Yes.
There you go. You see the graceful limb that you were talking about before.
The race we've got yet again, and a victor then goes victory to an American, Andy Hampton.
The felt it go by. He looks at the Colombian rider. How are you doing?
Straight past Santiago Patero, and he's coming up to Pantani.
Armstrong is sitting in the first last few hundred meters as we come towards the finish of this monumental stage. And Armstrong,
as we start to approach the line now, Pantani grits his teeth and accelerates and over the line.
Is going now to win stage number 15. Sepp Kuss, an emotional finish from Durango in the USA. Sepp Kuss wins.
Welcome, Stage 8, Tour de France, Chinon to Chartres, 174.1 kilometers. This is Between Two Wheels podcast. Tyler Yonke. Yes, Victor, I did give some notifications. It's always tough. Life is tough. You got family and trying to make things work. But either way, here we are. Is it an interesting stage today? I don't know if it is. But there's the map where we've been up here at the north. Then we're moving our way down. Now we're in the middle, central part of France. Tomorrow we're going to go stage 10 here in Inizat to La Mont d'Ore. And then they have, which I don't remember really having before, which is Bastille Day. They're the 14th of July. It's their, like our Americans' 4th of July, having it a rest day. Usually they try to have a French rider, getting out there to get in the wind, but not in this case. So there we are. Victor, Tyler Yonke is live. Yes, thanks for showing up here. So there's the map. There's what we have. But let's take a look at the actual stage profile for today. Flat as can be. And with the limited amount of sprint stages you actually are going to have here, this was never the break wasn't going to make it. Which teams were going to actively work to keep this in check? I mean, you've got Merlier for Sodal Quick Step. They've already lost some people. They're not. Maybe we should actually look at the teams, but they're not. They're not really going to be one to control it that well. This thing has a bit of a rise to it on the finish as well, the sprint. So you got Miller, you've got Alpecin de Koenig. They've lost Philipsen, and Caden Groves is here. He's been training to do lead out, he was exceptional. It's just a different type of, you don't have this, you haven't been training the pop, the big sprint. It's more diesel sprint type of stuff. He may work his way into it, and he does do well getting up and over climbs. So you've got him. Is there going to be Intermarché Wanty with Girmay? He's not looking as powerful on the sprints as he did last year when he won, 3 stages in the green jersey. He's just a touch off. Jonathan Milan with Little Trek, he's looking very good. Matthew van der Poel, is he going to take some of this? Bittner, he's kind of okay. You also have Wout. Is he starting to warm up? Who's going to, take control of this race and actually do something to try to keep everyone in check? As we do with this was yesterday, Jal Almeida. He went down in that crash. I guess Jack Haig, you can see him there. He looked really beat up. Jack Haig did withdraw. Jal Almeida hurt his little pinky, I guess, and has some cracked ribs, or kind of. So you can get along with that riding. That may be tough. It depends on how bad they really are. There's Caden Groves before the race, an EF rider. There's Biniam Girmay, and then you have totally a sprint day. Jonathan Milan. He's in the green jersey. On points, is he? Maybe we should actually take a look. Hang on. We're going to go to Pro Cycling Stats, but we're not going to look at today's. We're going to look at yesterday's stage, Tour de France, stage 7, points jersey. Yeah, Taddy's in the lead there with 156 over to 122. So just down, 34 points for Jonathan Milan. And then, 11 behind him was Gourmet. And then, at 108 was Vanderpool. The yellow jersey, Pogacar in the lead by 54 over Remco, 111 over Kevin Vauquelin, and 117 over Vingegaard. We got Matteo Jorgensen there at 134 in 6th place. Vanderpool dropped down one yesterday. He's at 129. The KOM jersey is Tim Wellens to have by 1 point. He should keep that today. Youth, Remco, and how does, okay. And then the team classification, Team Visma Lisa Bike. They would be wearing, typically when the team they wear the yellow helmets, but they already have yellow helmets. But Wout wears a Red Bull helmet, and Jonas wears a red helmet that he's got a separate sponsor. So are they obligated to be wearing these yellow helmets for the team classification? That I do not know. And I think the answer we are going to get is no, they're not obligated to wear those. All right, there's Caden Groves, Gourmet. There's some of those other words. For the most part, the break is it's not gonna have much, and you're just really gonna come down to the intermediate sprint. Quinn Simmons was leading out. His teammate Jonathan Milan, who comes around here for the intermediate sprint, and it looks like Tim Merlier is kind of trying to make a game of it, but I don't think he's even in the picture really. Let's go back here on the points. Where's Tim Merlier? He's down here at 72. I don't even know what he's doing trying to go for any of these points here, but Jonathan Milan wins the intermediate sprint. Then Quinn Simmons goes back on the front. He was on the front a lot today. I heard today, not today, but today, I started to listen to The Move just as I was getting ready to come up here to do the show. And George Hincapie is just all worked up that you've got a rider like Quinn Simmons in the American Championship jersey, national champion of the U.S., almost getting the second place, a bit back. I shouldn't say almost getting the win, but very strong from a strong breakaway the other day when Ben Healy won there for EF. And he is on the front a bunch. He's active, and George Hincapie is all upset that, this American on this team is being wasted. And then he's like, and then Jonathan Milan doesn't even have anybody to help him lead him out. We'll see if that's the truth. Now, this is what Quinn Simmons has been paid to really to come here and do. And some of these other riders are paid to be leading him out, Milan, in the last bit. So it's what it is. Now, I get it, which is there's a good chance that the way Quinn Simmons is riding, that during this tour, you might get a win. Okay, you might get a win out of him. But you will get a win out of Jonathan Milan if you keep everything in check. With that in mind, you got these two Total Energy French riders deciding to take the day out here and go for it, and they do. But they take off up the road. They don't get much of a gap, and with 10 kilometers to go, one of them pulls off, and Total Energy Radio, perfect guys. We're honoring the race. It's great to show character like this. Good job, is it? One guy, there you go. So Virash or whatever, he peels off, and the other guy goes. Merlier has a mechanical in the last 10 kilometers. He gets wheel change, gets back on. And then you have the race coming down to here. Alpecin, De Koenig leading things out. Little Trek, though. They do have Consoni. They have one other rider. And then they have, in between that I'm not sure who the rider. I think this is when they catch the Total Energies rider. Then they come up to, it's the two Little Trek riders. It's Matthew Van Der Poel. And then in the green jersey, you have Jonathan Milan and Caden Groves and a few other riders here behind. Tim Merlier never really gets himself up to the front. But 1.3 kilometers to go. You've still got two Little Treks on the front. Now, I just listened to the video, and George is like, it's ridiculous. They drop him off. They don't even, without 3 kilometers to go. Well, it's less than that. Now, they didn't take him all the way into the finish. I am a little bit disappointed in Little Trek for exactly that, not having a very good lead out. But if you watch the sprint, which we can't do here, but if you watch the sprint, Jonathan Milan does a great job. A little hip check here, a little elbow there. We'll see if he gets penalized for any of this stuff. Just cleaning people out. 1.2K to go. The team is still on the front. 1.2. The Consoni actually at 1 kilometer peels off. Then we got one Little Trek rider in here. He hangs on until not very much longer. I mean, he only goes about not even 100 meters there, and then two-door cycling comes to the front there. I guess they're leading Trenton out. And now you see Wout getting up in the mix. So you got two two-door riders. You got Jonathan Milan in third position. Fourth is the wheel of Wout. Now, I get it. You guys want to go and you want to take the win, which is what you should do, especially when Little Trek has no team up here. Alpecin is they don't have their best sprinter, so there's a lot of weirdness. I don't know if the best thing would have been for these riders to sit on Jonathan Milan's wheel, because these two-door riders, when they're done and peel off, then Jonathan Milan is on the front, naked. Okay, he's got no lead out. This is a very precarious situation if you want to do the win. And maybe those riders force him to lead himself out. Now he's going to have to what? Sit up. Then they're going to cover. But you can't do that with sprinting. Unfortunately, that's not going to work. So Jonathan Milan plays the cards. And next thing you know, you got an Israel Premier Tech rider coming over front. You've got him doing a little hip check here with Alpecin, which is, I think it's, is that Matthew Van Der Poel, I think, or Caden Groves. I think Matthew Van Der Poel is still in there. EF, I'm sorry, not EF, but FDJ rider then takes over. I don't know. Are some of these riders getting paid by Little Trek to do this lead out? So he gets whoever this is, and then up on the left-hand side, you finally have a lead out for Caden Groves. They come by. Jonathan Milan, once again, he gets kind of in here with the Israel Premier Tech riders, but he's got a big engine, and he's able to stay seated and power up to the wheel and kind of give a little elbow. He does a little elbow here. On his right, clears some room. That room actually splits these two Israel Premier Tech riders, and Wout's able to sneak his way up onto the wheel of Jonathan Milan. Milan then decides now he's going to kick, but you can see this gap here that opens up, partly because Jonathan Milan had kind of hip checked the Israel Premier Tech rider on the right. I think they're sprinting for Stewart, or that was Stewart. Caden Groves hits out hard on the left. Milan hits hard on the right, and the road does veer to the left a little bit here, so it was an advantage for Caden Groves right away. However, Milan, big gorilla man, takes the lead here quite easily over Caden. Wout gets up close to the rear wheel and then never can close anything down besides their Bittner's coming out there. I think it's Trentin. Co-finish rider, probably Jonathan, Brian. But yeah, Cocard looks like he almost bites it. In the end, you've got Jonathan Milan getting the easy win here, a bike length over Wout and the rest. Big hugs all around. There you go. Post up. This is the first Italian rider that they've had since Nibali in 2000, I want to say 19 perhaps. So fantastic. Here you go. Here's the win. Wout comes in second. Caden Groves in third. Pascal Ackerman, that's who it was. So Stewart was leading him out for fourth place. Arnold DeLee of Lotto, fifth place. T. Lund Andreasen for who's TPP? Oh, Tudor. Brian Cocard there in seventh. Alberto Denese in eighth. Oh, that's Tudor. So who's the TPP? I'll have to look at that one. Albanese, EF Education, and Fredman for Uno X in 10th place. The overall does not change. First to 10th, Skilmos down there in 343. And 6th place, you got Matteo Jorgensen. There you go. Green jersey now, I think it does go to him. Yep, 192 points on the day. Our overall now for Jonathan Milan, Pogacar at 156, Girmay 124. He's starting to run away from him. Now, you might have to be a little worried with Pogacar, but you know, the way that they're trying to do the intermediate sprints, the points start stacking up much more for him. Oh, TPP is it's when Oscar Only is on there, and Bittner and whatnot. The KOM jersey with Wellens. Evenepoel in the Young Rider jersey. There you go. That is our race for today. Let's go in here because I wanted to see Team Picnic Post NL. That's what TVP is for. Okay, fines and regulations. Here you go. 10-second penalty for Jonathan Milan. Fine of 500 Swiss francs. Obstruction by a rider or vehicle in order to prevent and delay the movement of another rider or vehicle. Paul Pinhoy, he was sheltering behind a car. I saw that he was slipstream just behind it. Groupama FDJ sheltering behind or taking advantage of a slipstream of a vehicle. And Arnold DeLee, unseemly or inappropriate behavior, particularly undressing or urinating in public at the start of urine, or as the Escape Collective guys call it, urine trouble. That's the urine trouble award. There's the intermediate sprint. We saw Jonathan Milan over Tim Miller, 20 points for that. There was a KON, Matthew Bergadeau. He was the rider out there for Total Energies. Points at the finish, Jonathan Milan. Most combative rider, Mathieu Bergadeau for Team Total Energies. Matteo Vercher was the rider that was with him. He's the one that crashed. I think it was on stage 1, a little over the first KOM there. Total Energies, Youth Day classification. Jonathan Milan is in that. Interesting. Okay, he's top one there. It looks like there's 48 young riders, team rider. Kofidis takes some points on that. So let's take a look here at the results for some of these lessers. Like we said, the green, the stage goes to Milan, the GC with Tadej, points with Milan, KOM with Tim Wellens, youth with Remco, and the big surprise, who's the team award? Still Visma over UAE. Okay, we had a little bit of a controversy, and I thought, well, let's play this first of all. This is João Almeida. Let's play this interview, and then about his injuries and whatnot. 42 seconds here.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
That's
I
in
want to
1
be
year.
here to help as much as I can. I don't want to be a useless guy in the bunch, you know. And I'm looking forward to try to help the team, which place it is, you know.
Can you try to describe the pain on the bike? I reckon speed bumps are not so nice.
Yeah, every bump you feel on the road is painful. Every time I go out of the cell, you know, try to sprint is painful, but yeah, it's part of cycling, you know. It's not just me. We are all strong people, strong riders, and unfortunately, it's part of the sport. And we need to, hope for better days, but it could be worse as well.
Okay. I'm going to get to this quick story. They do this a lot. Tadej responds to pushing incident with Matteo Jorgensen, but UAE and Visma downplay tension. Okay, there is some of this. You saw this the other day where Ben Healy wins and Visma, pushes it at the end, and you're kind of like, why are you doing this? They had their plan, and Tadej's like, I don't even know what's going on. They don't even know what's going on, type of thing. And the thought is, because he sprinted at the end, he didn't have to sprint, but he does, him being Tadej, but Visma pushes the pace, and he almost took back the yellow jersey, which I don't think he wanted to take at that point, and they were trying to make this happen. Then yesterday, on the Muir that's a different one, Bretagne. Tadej's like, yeah, I don't know what's going on with Jonas and Matteo. You'd think they'd work with each other, but they can't even cooperate with each other. So you just take little snipe shots at them. So there's some tension going on. And then there's an issue where he said that he was going to get a bottle in the feed zone, and Matteo rode in between him, intentionally trying to make it so he couldn't get a bottle. And is that true or not? I saw some breakdowns of it, but here's what Tadej said. Let's see if we can go to, I guess it's the best we're going to be able to do. Here's what Tadej says about that.
You guys were getting bottles, and looked from the cameras that your hand was on Jorgensen's shoulder and he missed the bottle. Can you remember?
Okay, so Tadej came out and said, look, they're riding up there. I'm on the right-hand side. I'm trying to get a bottle. Next thing you know, they're blocking me from literally getting my feed. Then when you see the video, Jorgensen's there. It doesn't look like it's intentional, but Tadej pushes him to the point where Jorgensen can't get his feed. So now, hang on. This is actually, what's his name? Daniel Friba is actually asking him this question.
What happened? And will you speak to him about it today?
Yeah. There was a feed zone, and we were riding one line. I showed intention to go to for my bottle, for my swan year was like 20 meters after Visma, but they decided to pass us on the right side. So if I wanted to take a bottle, I could not do anything else than give him a little bit push, so I could catch my bottle.
Any bad blood that, or was it just like a normal gesture?
From me it was normal, but I don't know what was their intention. But they do this a lot of times, coming in front of you when it's speed zone, like if they are the only one having the bottles there. So yeah, sometimes you have to be patient and stay on the wheel when you're taking the bottles, and pay respect to everybody.
Okay, there's a few things, which is, my times getting feeds, they are chaotic. Wrecks happen. I've been taken down in feed zones trying to get bottles. So, because what happens is you need food, and these guys are eating a ton. So, but I just saw a video yesterday. I think Chris Horner was highlighting the guy, comes through the feed zone, misses the first bottle. There's another guy, so he tries to get the third bottle from, there's actually 3 different soigneurs for that team that he does, and the third one he finally gets. So, Tade, I get it, but it's also, this is part of the problem you see with the feed. I don't know who's in fault or whatever, but if there's your guy there, maybe your 2 teams need to split up, their soigneurs need to split up on the feed zone so that they're not causing confusion. Because is it that Visma thinks that they're the ones, so they're just diving in and getting the bottles? Or you having your position, you just think you're the king of the castle and that they need to work around you. I'm sorry, when it comes to getting a feed, it's, we have chickens. You throw seeds and food out there for them. It's it's a free-for-all. That's what the feed zones are like as well. You try to have some sort of order. You get, this happens all the time. You're in the line to get your stuff, and then someone's coming through, and it's just like it happens. You hope it doesn't happen as much of this in the pro peloton. Sometimes too, get your teammate to go back there and do the work for you. I think it's a lot of nothing. It is interesting that he was there and that he pushes Mateo so that he can get his bottle when he's calling them like prima donnas. But this is where we're at with the tour. This is the worst we're gonna get. I don't know. Remember a few years ago when Lance Armstrong was talking about how he just hates how these riders are friends with each other. He literally said, I would make up stories about them in my mind so that I would hate them. And it's like, okay, because you're a fucking psychopath. This is what we have, though. This is what we have. Now, once again, I said, with reference to Lance on that, is the racing diminished because they're friendly? No, these guys, sometimes friends you want to beat more than enemies. So there you go. There you go. We talked about tomorrow. It's going to be, I'm a little disappointed. This is the way that the weekends are going, where you're getting this kind of stuff for the weekend, but that's what we have. And as we've discussed, we'll do it tomorrow. I'll try to do a rest day as well, because then this is what we have coming out of the rest day. Tuesday, am I mixed up on the days here? Today's Saturday the 12th. Let's go back to the official stage. Oh, today was stage 8. There we go, stage 8. Then we got stage 9 tomorrow. And then we have stage 10, which comes in the central part here. And then a transfer over to Toulouse, and then how to come. So we're not totally, completely off on the stages here. This is tomorrow, stage 9 for Sunday. We mentioned it, stage 10, who's at least got some low climbing. That will be GC Day. Toulouse, that looks interesting. That's out and back. Some kickers there. That's a Matthew Van Der Poel type of day. But Tade, maybe he wants it as well. I suspect a breakaway. How to come on, let me see, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Which one is it? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday. Next week we're having a time trial up the climb. And then this is the weekend. Saturday, Super Bagnères. And Sunday to Carcassonne, which is kind of a transition day. Then we got a rest day. Then you get Monday, a week from Monday, Mont Ventoux, excellent. Valence, a little bit of on Tuesday. I'm sorry, that'd be, no, that's a rest day Monday. So Tuesday. Then Wednesday, we go up to Col de la Loze. Thursday, another banger up to La Plagne. Saturday, that was Friday, and then Saturday, not so exciting, and Sunday into the Champs-Elysees. We haven't talked about this much, but they go over these climbs that they hit on the that they had in the Olympics. After crashing, did you use spray bandages? There was some spray stuff that you would use. I didn't really use spray bandages. I always basically think of burns. Anything you would have for burns, that's typically what you'd have. So you had to have some cool spray stuff. The worst part is, depending on how bad your wounds are, you had to clean them out. And obviously the showers were the worst because it's dependent on where it was. The last bad wreck that I had where I broke my neck and my back, my whole back was just shredded, and I've got a bunch of scars. That was actually worse than the other two injuries, the breaks, because I needed to sleep. I couldn't, move my neck too good, and I was on my back. Your shirt would, I'd have to wear a shirt so I didn't bleed all over the bed, and then it would stick. And so, with your wounds. So my wife, I'd have to get in the shower with my shirt on and get wet, and then peel it off because it would start to integrate with the wounds. Bad stuff. Does this podcast ever cover NorCal cycling or just French? It says NorCal Cycling Podcast right there. That's from the NorCal. Jordan, I used to do a lot of the NorCal scene, and I got a little perturbed a few years ago with the way that USA Cycling, when they shut, and I've said this before, and then our acquaintance Jonathan Griffrath is like, "What are you talking about? They never shut down races because of COVID." Are you fucking kidding me? I have screenshots, the racing complaining about stuff. I got a little sick of it, honestly. So I don't know. I got a little bitter, and am I covering that kind of stuff? Maybe. You can pull my chain all you want. I'm just fine with it. All right, everybody. We are out here for the day. See you tomorrow. Sprint stage. Jonathan Milan, the way he sprinted today, it's got to be his for the taking. But I say it could be a Gourmet sprint tomorrow. I have a feeling that he might be coming back. But the reality is, Tim Merlier is going to get a second stage win tomorrow. I feel it. I don't want to see it, but it's going to happen. All right, everybody. See you tomorrow.